Hello, my dear ones. I'm a student, and today I want to talk to you about an important topic and share my own experience. Actually, I want to raise the important topic of living with OCD, which means obsessive compulsive disorder. Personally, I live in Ukraine now, and as a social worker, I can say that people here are not very eager to seek help from psychologists, psychotherapists, or psychiatrists. However, this problem does not go away just because of avoidance. You see, OCD is not a problem that can be ignored or tolerated within yourself. The longer you delay addressing it, the worse it will get. But many people don't even realize what's happening to them. Everyone talks about depression, schizophrenia, obsessive thoughts, but many don't understand what OCD really is. It is very hard to understand if you have never struggled with it. Actually, I now realize that the signs of this disorder might have been with me since childhood. I was afraid of swallowing something and dying. For example, I thought that a fly I accidentally swallowed would fly around in my stomach for the rest of my life. I was even afraid to open my mouth sometimes. I counted steps and had to reach the pole before the cat got there. I think many of you can relate to this now, but that was just the beginning. The worst part started when I was about 15 or 16 years old. I tried to be the best student, so I wouldn't let my parents down, but I did it definitely than others. I could study paragraphs for 5 to 8 hours instead of just going out with friends, playing Minecraft, or even going on a date. I was afraid of becoming a drug addict, smoking, having bad habits. I was afraid of getting a bad grade, and when I did it, it triggered a real depression. Yeah, I finished that school year better than anyone, but what it cost me cannot be compared to the results. I lost peace through sleepless nights. I had so much anxiety that I couldn't sleep. I couldn't get up from the couch and I couldn't do anything. I felt like a real invalid. Now I realize that the health is the most important thing. I took strong sedative medications prescribed by a doctor, but they didn't help. They had serious side effects. I was constantly sleepy, my head was in a fog, and I started gaining weight rapidly. They didn't help, and that's when I decided to seek support online. And I found it. It was Ali Graymont, a specialist working in Canada. She has an English and Russian-speaking channel and presented the ERP method, which means exposure response prevention, which she developed herself when she had OCD. Now, she has been working for over 15 years around the world helping others heal and writing books. This method is very difficult because you have to do what you least want to do. For example, not thinking about obsessive thoughts when you desperately want to, or simply holding a knife when your mind is filled with thoughts of harming yourself or others. It seems simple, but in reality it's extremely challenging. And you know, this method started helping me. I was inspired by it. The focus is on recognizing that there are obsessions like your thoughts, states, desires, urgent needs, and compulsions. The actions that supposedly relieve your emotional state, but only for a short time until the next obsession comes. The more you perform compulsive actions, the more your brain understands that there is a danger. Not because it's real danger, but because you've told your brain that. This creates a vicious cycle that must be broken by stopping your reaction to obsessions. Actually, I got so involved in the treatment that it became my obsession, wondering whether I would ever recover or if I was doing something wrong. And again, I started falling back into this state. Along with OCD, I also had strong social anxiety. It is a very difficult cocktail, and I think many of you can understand me. I started my active treatment in 2020. There were unsuccessful attempts, setbacks like with everyone. However, I had let this disorder run wild within me, so my brain needed me time to reconfigure. Relief began around 2023 with fewer obsessions, fewer compulsions, and more work and time for my hobbies. Now, in 2025, I'm here in Ukraine, sitting and talking to you about OCD. Actually, I believe in God and I feel that this was I'm supposed to talk to you about. Dear brothers and sisters, all those who suffer from OCD, though it's not a disease but just an incorrect reaction to your own thoughts, however, this reaction causes suffering because people cannot go to work, they lack the strength to do anything, families fall apart, and people commit even bad things with their bodies. You know what I'm talking about. But I want you to understand that you're not alone. Millions of people around the world suffer from OCD, so please don't give up. You're very strong, but you must stop letting yourself dwell on these thoughts. I know it's hard to even get up from the couch, and you don't want to do anything, but you must do something. Please stay busy. Dear ones, my love, I actually feel better now, thanks God, but I still sometimes feel social anxiety and OCD symptoms. But now I can live, and I am confident that you can heal too. These thoughts, events, feelings, needs, and states only seem so scary because you are in this state. Once you get out of it, you will look at the same things differently, but you must get out of it. Otherwise, OCD will take your life. Be strong for yourselves, for your loved ones, for God. I understand that this a disorder you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy, but in reality your brain is trying to take care of you. It wants everything to be good in your life, but it doesn't know how to do it properly and correctly. And that's how this disorder arises. Believe me, I've read and listened to a lot of information about this disorder, and I want to share this information with you. I also want to talk about video games. They have really helped me in my journey of fighting this disorder. First of all, they distracted me, didn't let me dwell on these thoughts, and secondly, I felt like in some characters and words I could see reflection of myself. It gave me a sense of not being alone with my struggles, and it made it easier for me. Actually, Silent Hill 2 is so special to me because this town reminds me of OCD. Anyone who has been or is in this state will understand me. Everything around is creepy, disturbing, thoughts, images, puzzles in your head that your brain is constantly trying to solve. And Pyramid Head, the executioner, is the embodiment of OCD. Now I'm thinking about how to combine OCD treatment with video games, and I have some ideas. I think it would be great to create some kind of a community on YouTube or Twitch where we could play games together, share experience and heal from OCD together. Finally, I want to say that faith in God gives me more peace, hope, inspiration and understanding of myself. I'm reading the Bible now and brings me so much comfort and peace knowing that there is always someone to help me in difficult times. That's all the information I have for today now. Thank you for listening. I hope to see you in the next videos. Goodbye, my love.